Yes.
Hello? Okay.
Hello.
Hi. So, my name is Ryan Pausina. I submitted a nomination for Mayor of Auckland, also in 2022. Born and raised in Freeman's Bay, closest suburb to the CBD. Was already a member of Kohimarama Yacht Club and then moved to Kohimarama at the age of 10. Consider myself from Kohimarama. I'm from Kohi. Fourth generation Kiwi on both sides. Father engineer, pneumatics and mechanical, servicing and whatnot. Myself, I'm a product developer, but owned and operated a number of about 4 small businesses around Kohi from the time I left school. Mission Bay Bike Hire, Street Smart Property Wash, water blasting, Mission Bay Water Sports, and now I do the product development. It's really my career thing. Hydropower boat stabilization and PPE and technologies and what have you. So thank you. Okay, so the question is about the density housing around the metro lines and what have you. Yeah, to answer that question for you guys, it's like a real basic logic. Someone with only a couple solutions making these changes to the district plan. They're like, well, let's bring more people in to balance up the budget, and then and how are we going to bring more people in? Oh, why don't we put them near the train station? Okay, so yeah, that's one logic, but it's only very basic, and there are a lot of other points that are really important, like say a student is growing up and they leave home and really high functioning student and he needs a large, uh, large space, concrete space to have a workshop, a very small loft. Another person needs a big backyard for a big family. So are these being provisioned, and, are we cutting corners? We also hear it at debate, so in some way I'm going to stand against, we're at a debate, right? So I'm going to stand against affordable housing, right? Okay? So, affordable housing, all right, that's compromised housing, isn't it? It's compromised, it's affordable. When I'm product developing, as a product developer, when I create an appliance, like, okay, let's say a blender. How do we make it cheaper? Okay, well, why don't we take out the power modulator and we'll take this out and take that out. Okay, and then you end up with one product that will, okay, we'll blend some tomatoes, but, in terms of ice and a thick shake, we can't do that. So, we have to make quality, and I hope this answers, a question. We need leadership in a wide aspect. Thank you. Okay, so Simon, you're saying I should disagree with somebody. Okay, the candidates, put your hand up if you foreign investment. Anyone for foreign investment here? Karen, you're on your phone? Foreign investment, is that on more foreign investment? Is that on your website? Okay. All right. Okay, let's go for foreign investment, everyone. So I'm a student renting a place, okay, paying some big money, like what, $500-600 for a place. Okay. So the foreign investor owns your place. So the money that you spend every week, 500-600, goes off overseas. Okay, that's not so good, is it? And then there's another $100 Airbnb. Airbnb, that's not from here. Another $100. Can anyone think of any more costs? So so that's foreign investment for you. It's foreign investment is a good thing. The technology, the space I work in, technology comes in and we use it, we adapt it, we pay a premium price, and that keeps these technology companies going to create more good, and then we adapt with our own. So, so that's a disagreement in a way. But I did want to say I agree with Peter Wakeman. So twice now I've been impressed. You're saying high interest rates. Oh yeah, foreign-owned banks. The mortgage, that's attributed to the rental price. So I don't know how much information you guys, but in America, in the United States, it's 2% for a mortgage fixed for 30 years. It's 200, $300 a week for 30 years. Over here in New Zealand, 18-month mortgage at like 6-7%. So affordable housing, I stand against it. We can, there's a back end to affordable housing. And if you bring the cost down of the mortgage, which is 50% of the cost that you spend, then that can help. Thank you. In short, the problem is that management in the city keeps scoring sixes. Okay? Six out of tens. What we need is to start scoring nines. And in the 9 points, 9 point this, 9.3, 9.5, we need a really good performance. With transportation, and this is a sub-science of city management, city civics. So we're talking transportation metrics and transportation analytics. For instance, Eric over here saying buses. Buses are good, but you've got to employ a bit of genius. A bus. Did you know the geometry of a bus is that it doesn't really fit on a road? And the more full that a bus gets, the slower it goes. Okay, so 5 buses get on, so the bus is completely full. All right, everyone's on the bus. This bus is at capacity. All right, then the bus goes 100 meters, and 3 people get off. And then 3 people get on, and the bus goes another 100 meters or two, and then 3 people get off, and 3 people get on. So the more used the bus is, the slower it actually goes. So the bus was initially designed to take people from transportation location A to B, more people in one go. And that is what it's really implicitly for. So yeah, the bus has just got to be used, and I don't want to blow my trumpet, but we need to be electing someone who has, and a field of people and a field of young experts to come up and absolutely start scoring nines in the transportation metrics, and that potentially means an alternative transportation for the city. Okay, so e-modem, e-bikes, e-boards, these are an emerging technology, and we can accommodate for them. And you can check my website, you can see some videos. Thank you. Okay, just getting back to what Bob said here, animal justice. So good on you. Live animal export is not the best situation. Um, what about whole animal export? What about freeze the whole animal and send it off overseas? You can, save some money doing it. I mean, who would put hay in a boat and then build a boat? So there are some half-cooked ideas coming up there, but that's central government. You can't blame us. We're local. But no, to do with that, we need to keep our employment for the meat goods, freezing goods. We need to actually be sophisticated, use the machinery. So, flooding and water. So, my background, I have a bit of a field of expertise here. 7 years hydroponic blood stabilization technology and experience. So, what we need to do is just start scoring nines. We're scoring sixes in this field. So this is a field of science, okay? You've got water reticulation, you've got fluid dynamics, hydrodynamics, you've got volumetrics. If you don't get the volumetrics right, then you've got the man-made errors. So the engineers build a bridge, and it's like, great, under maximum strain, 17 trucks with maximum load, this bridge will last. And then a couple of years later, the town's flooded. And no one can quite remember, hang on a minute, 2 years ago they built the bridge across the river, And I think every region in New Zealand has suffered this. And then when you study the science of it, seabed, river, stream, and harbour bathymetry, bathymetrics of the seabed and what have you, and you become an expert in this, then you can see these problems happen. I'm sorry, kids, a lot of it is actually man-made errors. So, but these can all be engineered out. We can do it together. Thank you. Okay, going back to this, to what this gentleman asked before, well done, you've designed a type of rail bus system, so folks being near Auckland, I will take a look at that, good on you for that. Like I said, there are a lot of issues with a bus. I wrote down a page of them, I analysed the geometry of the bus, which is, they don't even really have brakes. The passengers in the bus are unrestrained, someone walks out, and then bus driver can't apply the brakes because everyone else is going to get injured. There's just so many defects with a bus. I wrote down pages of them. They obstruct it on the road. When the bus stops on the side of the road, if they take away one lane, then the bus will stop to let someone off, and all the cars behind are actually stuck. So the more buses you have on the road, you're actually pegging the traffic all of them to the speed of a bus. Can you imagine that? It's very, very slow, and it's very last century. And the train, 15th century. Okay, there's a very old technology to it.
Buses have a life cycle of 10 years. So therefore, we've got all this rubbish going back into the cycle. They're not recyclable. The trackless train is a 30-year life cycle. So, it takes 15 buses off the road. One trackless train reduces 6 lanes of motorway. So if you don't want congestion, it's China Rail's done. Across the bus, train. They spend a lot of money doing this, a lot of research.
Well, yeah, it's a technology.
The power was actually developed by Victoria University, the superconductor. So it's partly New Zealand.
Okay, we are nearing the end of the evening. If you had a choice, where in Auckland would you live and why?
Well, the biggest intellectual question with all the problems we got on tonight, transport and density issues, and it's not really to do with, the actual job itself to be near Auckland, which is, the sub-sciences of city maintenance, city works, city civics, and then sub ones under that, city ordinance, people don't turn up to vote, okay? And then directories, where's all our directories? The white, yellow pages, they got out of hand. So, I'm from Kohimarama, and I'm pretty solid with Kohi.
Thank you. Team.